Well, I'm sorry, I'm recording between customers here in my store. But anyway, let's go back to Carter Pilford paper when the Republicans started spying on the Democrats in 1980. They wanted to know what happened to President Carter, and they call it Operation For Your Eyes Only, like they know what's going on, but they just want to know more details. President Carter lost, and President Reagan came to office. I got married that year. I was married in 1980. And when I got married, I guess God wanted me to freeze. He wants to freeze me. He wants to protect me. I was on the loose running around with so much knowledge that can hurt me. So he got me married. And at that time, I went through a lot of emotional and emotional and material problems. So God wanted to get me under control by keeping me hostage to my social and financial situation, which I did, but did not stop me from writing. I was writing, and I started writing a book. I wrote a book, and there was AppScam at that time. And when AppScam came out, I know it has something to do with what's going on here. And I started writing to these congressmen and senators about it. One of them was Senator Harrison Williams, who lawyer George in Red Bank, New Jersey, took me seriously. And when it was time for Senator to go to jail in January 1984, I heard that, and I called. I told George, his lawyer, that the book I've been promising will be out. Hold on. So he tried, and he tried to have an appeal, and the judges that heard the appeal had said, what we have heard is just far-fetched to believe. But the same thing was going on. Reagan, White House, received the book also, and there was a big mess there too, which is hard to explain. Maybe a lot of people won't believe that. There's no need to believe or not believe here. I'm just stating facts as I know them. 1984, because of the quotation I wrote on that back of that book, Oh My Sister, from the Book of Mormon, Nephi 21, it says, for in that day for my sake shall the Father work a work, which shall be great and marvelous work among them, and they shall be among them those who will not believe it, although a man shall declare it unto them. That got to President Reagan, since he was known of his religious views, and he seemed like said a lot of things to himself. There's one man been checking on him and checking on him. It's only one person causing all that headaches. So it got to be some kind of a work of God here involved, as the Bible's saying. Then it also says in Ezekiel, well, it does say in Ezekiel that I don't know what's it, Ezekiel or John, but it does say that there is a man who will come, and I think it's John. It was said that Jesus said that he's going to the Father because he can't tell us the truth, because we can't bear it. But his helper will come to do so. And when the helper comes, he will tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And it also says in Ezekiel that it's about the same man, that I will remember my covenant with you in the days of your youth, and I shall establish everlasting covenant with you. So in this man, in the days of his youth, things happened. A lot of things happened. Book of Mormon say there's a work of God here about things like that. When you have the Bible saying that, and then you have the Holy Quran specifying all of that, we have a problem that leaders cannot handle, except in one way, which keep it undercover, keep it hidden as much as possible, as deep as possible, as far as possible, which is what God wants actually, because there was a lot of details, a lot of facts that have to be known on daily basis or weekly basis that might have to get leaders involved in the action, in the operation, in the whole project. Once the leaders are involved, whether they know it or not, or find themselves trapped into getting involved, then they will have no choice but to believe in what they're doing, in what this man is doing, to believe in what's going on, to believe in the Bible and the Holy Quran. Well, there is quotations in the Holy Quran, like Surah Al-An'am 122. It does speak of a man who will come to expose the criminals, the most powerful criminals, and the mother of all nations by himself. And it also, Surah Al-An'am itself, 155, that this man will prove to the whole Muslims that for so many years, all these years, for hundreds of years, they did not understand most of what they're reading in the Holy Quran. They did not understand the Arabic language of the Holy Quran. And this man will prove it to them. And he will be the only one to prove it to them. Well, let's just try to end it here by saying there is no end to this world. Whatever happens, all these things that's going to happen, it happens all the time. You know, everyone have a doomsday every day. An infidel, you can be an infidel and a believer in 1 minute. When you are in doubt, insecure, scared, terrified, ignorant, you are an infidel. The minute you are sure, confident, and act and moving, you are a believer. It's that simple. So when you're driving, you're a believer. When you stop, you froze, you're infidel. So if you look at the day, if you spend 16, 17 hours, 18 hours of your day scared, terrified, not knowing what to do, you're in hell all that time. But if you spend 16, 17 hours of your day active, going, action, you're a believer. Breaks have to be in between. Minds need to rest, bodies need to rest, and that's what you call prayer. So that's for all creatures. God says in the Holy Quran, even animals do pray, but you don't understand what they say. So in other words, when a dog is taking a break, he's actually praying, he's resting, he's relaxing, he's meditating. So heaven and hell is something we experience on a daily basis. You know, Jesus said, I can't tell you the truth, because if he said that if I told you then that heaven and hell is on this earth, you can't bear the truth, because you're going to tell me, what are you doing here among us? If this is heaven and hell, where is heaven and hell? So he said, I'm going to go to God, and I'm going to send my helper, and my helper will tell you the truth when you are ready and intelligent enough to understand it. So heaven and hell actually is what you make it, because you have to believe in born again. Jesus said everything is born again. It's come back to its life again. And he always talked about born again. The same thing in the Holy Quran. The soul never died. It goes back and forth all the time, just like it is in orbit, like the Earth is going around the sun. So when you have so many lives, you're going to experience in all these lives periods of heaven and periods of hell, in short times or long times. So, I mean, that's the only answer you have for when you see a baby, 3 months old baby burned in a fire. He did not do anything wrong. And when you see a man like Saddam Hussein or Hitler or dictators or people have no brains in power and controlling everything, and rich, powerful people have no right to all that, you have to say, why is that? So you have no answer to that except through one, which is these souls are in time where God wants them to be, in a life where God wants them to be. It's hard to explain that to average people. That's why God said there have to be a faith. You have to trust me. Just believe in what I'm saying. And if you do, you can help yourself better. It's better for you to trust me than not to trust me. You just can't go to a child in the first grade and talk to him about philosophy. When you are in certain times, you learn certain things only based on your level of understanding. And that's why there are so many religions. Before Judaism, all these religions are dying. So what we have left, basically, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they're very close in their beliefs, which people do not understand, but they are very close religion. But God said, religion, my word, is the last word, what counts. My last word is what counts. That's why I'm sending too many religions. If I want one word on one religion, I would just send one religion, and I would say one statement, and that's it. But he sent so many religions and so many prophets to tell us the last ones are the ones that will last, will have the last word, will have the upper hand in the long run. But everyone got to go through experiences and chemistry, if not cooking or an operation, let's call it, that we do not understand. We have to have faith. That's the bottom line. Having faith in anything will make it easier on you. But more than anything else, being objective, thinking of nothing but this is God's work. If somebody's bad, it's not. He's not doing that out of his own free will. God is in control of that. God is managing that. He knows that. Why he let him do that, it's another subject altogether. It might take hours to explain that. We go back to one thing, which is faith. You got to have faith. So let me just cut this short and just have faith in me. Believe me, there is no end to this world. We will not have. There is no doomsday. There is no hell. You know, the way I understand it from the Holy Quran is all these past generations actually have suffered more than us. And the coming generation will suffer less and less and less. You know, it's logic, you know. We are 7 billion people now. 2,000 years ago, there were not that many people. Why there's so much people now? Because we are more intelligent now. So the more intelligent you are, the better you can handle life. And that's what God is shooting for us to become intelligent, objective. Do not look at that person as wrong and this is right. Look at it, it's a mission. It's like an engine of life, the mechanical of life. You put the key in that car, and you start, everything has to move in there, and everybody have a job and a duty to do to keep that car going. The same thing, you look at life. There never was a species have more males than females, unless it has to distinct. So there have to be have good and have bad, have males, have females. This is the way you run a life. Car, battery car won't start without positive and negative. So you got to have positive and negative. If we all are good, we'll never get married, just like Jesus, and we will all distinct. And if we all are bad, we're gonna kill each other in no time. So there have to be some good and some bad to keep life going. And who is keeping life going and managing all that? God. So once you believe that God is allowing us to be bad, so he got a purpose for that. There's a reason for that. God is making me good man. There's a reason for that. Why? I don't know. So sometimes he chose persons and chose people, but choosing people and choosing people does not make them better. It just gives them more responsibility. They have a reason to be where they are because God chose them for other reasons, but that does not make them better. It makes them doing the job God chose them to do. I think if I keep going, I'll never end. There's just too much. Let me just take a break here.